Alright, chapter 32, Ancient Greek Drama, and this is where the ancient good ones, actually one of some of the best writers of our not our generation, but of the time of writing dramas, usually happened way back in the day, sorry. And then the first major supporting details is the Oedipus story. Old Thebes is where the action takes place. That's the actual setting of the place where they're doing it. Since Thebes has been an outpost of civilization, otherwise wild countryside where bandits reign, terrors lurk, and odd events take place. The city usually stands for order, and then the outsiders stand for the terror. But in this story, that it flips places. So the playwright takes a number of materials of Oedipus' myth, folds and manipulates the time span and molds it into one central text of our culture. Play's subject is the essence of human character, the relation of character to destiny or fate, and the links between the middle world of human life and the upper world of the gods. And then as the play continues, it says the great king himself discovers that he himself is the cause of trouble. Then he refuses to believe that in himself, believe that what he is told. He begs to be told what others prefer not to tell him. And then he discovers the truth about himself in a desperate act of self-mutilation, which internally turns his vision dark and allows him to see for the first time the enormity of his sin. So he figures out what kind of person he is and what he's put upon the people and what he's done to them. Alright, and the next one is Ancient Greek Drama. It says Western culture today should thank the Greek drama for what it has cultivated for us today. Since the narrative was born in the lips of Greek poets reciting heroic tales of their ancestors, plays such as the one I just read, and then there's many others they talk about. And it says in the golden period of Greek culture, these plays, which the Athenians considered the highest creations of their best artists, became an essential part of civic life. So basically, it was the beginning stage of whatever the form we're doing nowadays in our vision of what we're writing on. The conventions of Greek drama, it says Sophocles is not, of course, the only playwright of consequence for the classic period. Others include Aeschylus, the author of a trilogy of plays about another doomed dynasty, and the Euripides, among whose surviving work of Adalexis, the Phaenon Women, and the Bacchae. Routinely, these three plays would be presented in succession at a festival, followed by a fourth or satire play, which provided a kind of comic relief. So those three plays would be some serious acting that has the emotion of the audience in that way, and then they would put a fourth one on to make it a comic relief or relief for the people, trying to get over in their feelings of what they've experienced in the first three. And then the last one is Greek tragedy, and it says tragedy is the style itself, a particular art form that treats characters in the life in a certain fashion, presents its stories as illustrative of lives of higher figures, which is talking about the gods that are presented in the stories before. These kings mainly who become a tragic flaw in their character, which is their downside usually, and then they usually they usually have hubris, which is arrogance about themselves, which they think they're better than most people. The concept of hamartia, defined as a mistake or error in judgment, is an essential element in tragedy. So usually the person they misread is usually the person of right in the main readings of these stories. And that's chapter 32, Ancient Greek Drama.